Hello, good afternoon. This is David Sutter talking to you. Today is my weekly strategy video for Wednesday, January 20th, 2021. Okay, and that's always hard for me to adjust saying 2021. So, what we're going to do here is, instead of doing a weekly webinar like I used to do, and like I've been saying, is that I'm going to do a weekly strategy video just like I do in my webinars. Okay, and I'm going to pick random currency pairs that I can demonstrate some different strategies, and we're going to try to find good entry points and go ahead and play some trades and show you, the best trading. Now, of course, this is good if we do it live together, and I know many people are not able to attend my webinars, so I want to put together these videos here so that you can replay them and watch them and learn how to become a better forex trader. Okay, and of course, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. So please don't think that any of my strategies are 100% perfect, but they are very effective, okay, and have a high win rate. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to pick a random currency pair, and like always, I love the Great British Pound, so I'm going to pick GBP-CHF. Okay, and I said this is totally random. I have not even looked at this today. I looked at it yesterday, I think. I know it's been going up. If we look here on the 1 hour chart, looks like it hit a pretty strong level of resistance and it's starting to drop at this very moment. Now, what I like to do is, okay, yes, the default is 1 hour, but I like to start by looking at some of the higher time frames, okay, that 4 hour, the daily, and the weekly, to be specific. Okay, the monthly chart I'm not so much worried about, but the 4 hour, daily, and weekly, this will confirm the larger trend, which way the price is headed long term. Okay, and then I'll scale down to a smaller time frame, such as the 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, like that, and try to find a opposite signal. Okay, so for example, if this price is headed up long term, GBP-CHF, if the higher time frames show that the price to go up, but like the 1 hour chart right now says to go down, then we know long term we want to buy. We do not want to sell. Okay, so this right here would be an excellent time to put a buy limit pennant order a little ways below, so we can catch the price when it drops and activates a buy trade and then shoots back up. Okay, because like I said, the long-term trend would be the buy. Now, at this present point in this video, I have not looked at the higher time frame, so I don't know. So now, if the higher time frame, all the higher time frames show to sell, then we want to do a sell limit pennant order a little ways above here, because if you sell right now, there's a good chance it'll spike up even more. So what I'll do is I'll put a sell limit just slightly below this red arrow. Okay, I put a sell limit right about here with a small take profit, and then I would put a sell stop pennant order just below here, a few hundred points below, with another small take profit. That way these trades will open and close very quickly, and I know that this is definitely going to be dropping within the next 24 hours. Okay, now let's look at the 4 hour chart. Okay, see, the 4 hour chart shows to sell. The daily chart shows to sell. We don't have no blue arrow, no more red arrow or blue arrow here, so the last signal was to sell. And the weekly chart shows to buy. Well, the weekly chart is the stronger of the three higher time frames that I showed you. The monthly chart we can look at as well, and the monthly chart is even stronger, and it shows to buy as well. So what we can gather is that in the coming weeks, coming months, this more than likely will be going up. Now the problem is the daily chart shows to sell, excuse me, and we never had a blue arrow. Okay, so based on that, I do feel strongly that within the next few days, today's Wednesday right now, today's Wednesday, so we should be seeing for the remainder of this week the price should be dropping. Okay, going into next week, we should see the price rebound and start to come back up. So eventually this will break. Okay, this price level, this It's called a resistance. Okay, this resistance will break. See the price hit here, 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 here. The price keeps hitting that same area of resistance. It's like a ceiling, right? It's like a ceiling up above, and we just can't get out of that ceiling. But eventually it will, because we see that in the past, if we zoom out, we see in the past the price was much, much higher. You know, a long time ago, and this is, well, let's say a long time ago, this is back last year, 2019, 20, going into 2020. So, you know, last 2 years really, that the price was much higher. So, okay, yes, the price is going up long term. If we look at the weekly chart, like I said, the weekly chart shows to go up. That's going to take probably several months for this to really go up. Okay, but what's going to happen now within the next, you know, 48 hours, the 72 hours, that's what we're looking for. So for the time being, the price is going to drop. Okay, the daily chart shows a drop and the 4 hour shows a drop. So yes, what we could do is we can sell right now. We could long term put a buy limit pennant order down here in this range, but I think it's a little bit too early to do that. Okay, a little bit too early to worry about trying to buy right now. So at this present moment, we want to sell. Okay, like I was saying before, we want to do a sell limit, sell stop. So I'm going to go down to a smaller time frame, like a 15-minute, just so I can get a clearer picture of what's going on. Okay, now I'm going to put a sell limit right just under this red arrow. Okay, I'm going to put a sell limit at 1.21 800. Okay, I have to put it right about there, and take profit I'll put at 1.21 600. Okay, which is just under here. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm looking for potentially, if you sell right now, there's always a chance it'll spike back up. Okay, so what if the price shoots up right now, you know, within the next hour it shoots up? So we want to catch that, you know, when it comes back down. We know that it's going to be coming down in the next 2 days. Okay, the next 2 days, maybe even 3 days, the price is going to be steadily dropping. Okay, probably for the remainder of this week. Like I said before, we'll see the price drop. So I'm going to do a sell limit there to catch it. But what if the price just keeps dropping right now and never goes back up? Okay, so we want to do a sell stop pennant order just below here as well. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to choose sell stop for my pennant order. Okay, and then I'm going to put the at price around 1.21500. Okay, which will put it right in here. And then again, I'm going to do about 300 points take profit, and that's going to put it at 1.21200 for take profit. What did I do here? 200 points, 300 points. Oh, I probably should do it about the same, right? Keep it about 200 points. Okay, that's close enough right there. So again, just to recap, where you put a sell limit and sell stop. This way, if we're lucky, both of these will open and close, and we'll have about 400 pips in total profit. Okay, that's excellent, right? So at least 200, because we know that long term is going to be dropping. Okay, so based on the 4 hour chart, even the daily chart, it looks like it's definitely going to be dropping. Okay, so that's really, really good. Now let's move on to something else. Okay, we did a GBP pair. Let's do AUD NZD, because I had somebody asking me about that today, if it's going to be going down. And this thing has been shooting up, and everyone has been talking about this AUD NZD because it's been a pain in the butt. The Australian dollar has definitely been much stronger than the New Zealand dollar. Okay, even though both are fighting pretty hard right now. So like I showed you before, okay, the 1 hour shows the sell. Let's look at the 4 hour chart. 4 hour chart shows the sell. Daily shows the buy. Still, there's no red arrow. weekly chart shows to sell because there's a red arrow, and the monthly chart shows to buy. Wow. So wow, we got some really good mixture of signals here. So what's going to happen? Okay, well, we see the monthly chart is definitely showing to go up, and that's going to be, you know, a few years down the road. But the daily chart shows a sell when you see the price here spike back up, right? Went down back up, so it should theoretically be dropping again. When you go down, if you go to the daily chart and it shows the sell, then that would be a good indication that this will definitely be dropping. Problem is, right now on the daily chart it shows the buy still. So the fact that it shows the buy, I would not sell right now, although I do feel strongly that this will be dropping. Okay, it looks like it hit a strong level of resistance right here. If you look here in the past, I'm trying to see where else it hit that same level, but kind of like right here, it hit a resistance and dropped, hit a resistance and dropped, came up here, hit the resistance and broke, formed a support, broke, broke here, shot down, came back up, hit a resistance, and then kept dropping. Now eventually, you know, like a year later, it's come back, not a year later, but about 6 months later, it's come back up and hit the same level of resistance. Question is it going to break and keep going up, or is it going to drop? Okay, it looks to me, and I'm not a fortune teller, I cannot tell 100% what's going to happen, but it looks like it's going to drop. Okay, if we look at the 4-hour chart, like I showed you already, it shows to sell. So that's a very, very strong indication that this will be dropping. Okay, so we can, you know, put our bets that this will be dropping. Okay, 1 hour shows to sell also. Let's look at the 30-minute. 30-minute shows to sell, and see right now we're at that, we're just below that resistance. Okay, that's marked already. So I can just about guarantee you that within the coming, you know, days, maybe even in the next week or two, this will be dropping. It's going to be a slow process. It's not going to be just a sudden spike down. Okay, so it looks to me like it's hit a very strong level of resistance, even though there's no red arrow here on the daily chart. Doesn't mean it's not going to drop. Okay, because you can see here the price has shot down, and you know, there was no blue arrow here, but it kept dropping, and finally formed a blue arrow here. Also, we notice there's a blue arrow here. This is kind of interesting. Then the next blue arrow was even lower. Okay, the opposite could occur. Okay, we have a red arrow here. The next red arrow could be even higher. Okay, and like I said, the monthly chart shows to go up, right? Even though the weekly shows to sell. But it could. We don't know. Okay, forex is a strange thing, but it could go. Now we have a resistance here, which I'm kind of leaning towards, because we had a resistance here, here, kind of support here. So what I'm thinking will happen is that the price will drop right now a ways, and then spike back up, and eventually it'll hit this resistance. Okay, and form a red arrow right here on the daily chart. I don't know. That is kind of my theory, my best educated guess at this very point in time. Although it is possible that, you know, it could go much higher. Okay, I'm just putting some options on the table, scenarios, possibilities. I don't know, but what I do know is that we have a resistance here, we have one here, here. So this, it's going to go higher. It did not form a red arrow here, as you can see, using my Excalibur trend indicator. So what's going to happen next is that it's going to go up and hit that. Okay. At what point, I cannot tell you. My best educated guess is that within the next, probably the remainder of this week's, okay, the next 48, 72 hours, you're going to see the price dropping. Okay. Sometime next week, we'll see the price rebound and go back up again. Okay. And then it will hit this resistance and possibly break it and go higher. But I think it'll hit this resistance and drop, and we'll have a long downtrend. So is it still in an uptrend? Well, technically yes. Okay. And like I've showed you in the past how to do trend lines. You know, you have a uptrend like this. Okay. So what we're looking for is that the break before the price drops. Okay. So for right now, what I think is going to happen is the price is going to drop and touch this trend line and then go up more. This is on a 4-hour chart. So what's going to happen now is that I feel this definitely will be dropping. It's going to take time. Okay. And if we look, there's a resistance right here that kind of stands out at me. What this candle is right here. Okay, these candles mark your support and resistance levels. So I'm thinking like where this trend line and this horizontal line meet, I call that X marks the spot. And what that means is that this is probably where the price is headed to right now, and then rebound and come back up, and then eventually, if I zoom out, the price will hit that level, this other horizontal line here, okay, which is another resistance I have marked. So we can predict that this will drop now in the short term, but in the next few weeks this price will be going up. So what is now 20th of January? So you know, probably going into the next week you see this going up. Let me look at the calendar here. So by the end of definitely by the end of this month, we should see it escalate and go up even higher. So going into February, we'll see the price hit this resistance and then drop, and then going by towards the end of February, we'll see this break and form a long downtrend. Okay, so it's going to take some time. If you have a sell trade open right now and it's stuck open, you can leave it. Okay, the only problem is you're going to have some swap fees digging into your profit. Okay, that is the problem with forex, swap fees. If they had no swap fees, you could leave trades open indefinitely. Okay, and brokers know this, so they want to cash in on you. But the thing is, even if you lose a little money from the swap fees in the end, you can always make your take profit bigger on that trade, that active open trade. So your swap fees will not be so bad. But even if in the end you lose a little bit of money, so be it. Okay, better than taking a big loss right now. Okay, so my advice is if you have a sell trade open right now and it's in drawdown, it's a negative, then just keep it open. Okay, and just wait. But do not place any more trades, because if you keep placing more and more trades, you're gonna have a bigger and bigger negative balance. Okay, and that's gonna really have a huge drawdown, and you could potentially blow your account, depending on how much you have in your account balance. I don't know, but I see this happen time and time again, especially people trade with real small accounts like $100, which doesn't make any sense at all. But that is my best advice on AUD NZD. So let me do one more and I will wrap up this video. Okay, now I'm going to pick NZD USD because this is the opposing currency pair kind of. So let's see what the New Zealand dollar is doing here. If it's going up or going down. The 1 hour chart is showing to go back up now. So we had this big long downtrend, kind of, sort of, and now it looked like it's kind of bottomed out and it's starting to work its way back up. Okay, so what's going to happen now? You look at the 4 hour chart, shows a sell. Wow. So, but it's already been dropping quite a bit. Daily chart shows a sell. Okay, weekly chart shows to sell. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. So if the Australian dollar is wanting to buy, we see the New Zealand dollar getting ready to sell now. All right, so the New Zealand dollar has definitely hit a strong level of resistance and will be dropping. Okay, now the monthly chart, we can look at that as well. It shows to buy, but we also see that we had a buy here and another buy. So I think the next, this is kind of rare, especially on the monthly chart, but the next signal will be a sell. When that will occur, I don't know, because this one was on 2015 in October, and then we have another one here in about the same time frame, November of 2019. So you're looking at what, 4 years between the two signals. It could be 4 years before you see another. Okay, so this is already 2021 going into 2021. So this is a whole year basically of all of 2020. This price has been going up, which is okay. So now we're seeing the price start to detract and come back down, and then eventually go back up again. And you're talking about 2025, I don't know, before this price really ever goes up and forms another red arrow. So enough blabbering about that, right? But anyhow, what's going to happen now? We see it's going to sell, right? So we need to be thinking to sell. So this is okay. I'm going to, at the 4-hour chart right here, on the 4-hour chart, we have a level of support right there. Resistance here, resistance, resistance, support kind of right here, support again. So it's okay, right? And I could bring that down just slightly, like that. Doesn't really matter too much, but it kind of clear things up a little bit. I can zoom in some so you can see this a little better. All right, so we got a support right there. Even though on the 4-hour chart there's no blue arrow, it could drop right now and form a blue arrow there, because the blue arrow is here. But also we notice that the daily chart and the weekly chart show the sell, so we know that the long term is going to be dropping. So what might happen is the next blue arrow will be lower than this blue arrow. I don't know, or it could break here and then form a blue arrow at this level right here. Okay, so if I zoom out a little bit, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay, we have a support resistance here, support. So I do feel that it probably will most likely form a blue arrow here, since it did before, but eventually that blue arrow that support will get broken and it'll form another blue arrow even lower. Okay, we see we had a red arrow here, we had a red arrow followed by another red arrow at the same spot here, and then the next red arrow is way up here, right? So it could do that again, form another blue arrow here, go up and then break, and then form another blue arrow way down here, which is probably what's going to happen. So that's going to take some time. Okay, talking about another week, another month from now before that happens. Okay, so for right now we are looking to sell, because long term it's going to sell. The 1-hour chart shows to buy. Okay, so the smaller time frame is showing opposite what the larger time frame is showing, which is great, because we want to put a sell limit pin in order. Now the problem right now is, how high is this price going to go? Okay, it's not going to go all the way back to this red arrow here, because we saw this red arrow here, the next red arrow here, the next red arrow will be even lower. Okay, that's pretty much a guarantee. So we see a support right here. Okay, blue support right there. It's forming a support here also, and made a resistance here. What I'm thinking based on my experience, and again, I'm not 100% correct all the time. What I feel is going to happen is that the price is going to go up and touch this line and form a red arrow. Okay, I really feel that will happen. Okay, So if we zoom in here, what I want to do is I want to put a sell limit pin order just below that line, and I can go to like a 5-minute chart just so I can get a clearer picture of what's going on. You can see real clear on a smaller time frame. So here I want to put a sell limit pin order at 0.71500. Okay, that's going to put close to that red arrow right there, and then I'm going to use a take profit at 0.71200. Okay, it's going to be 300 points in total profit. Okay, they'll say here 300 pips, because of course pips and points are the same thing in the forex world. Okay, now many people don't know that, they can argue about it, but it's all the same. Profit and points, or percentage of profits, or whatever. Profit and pips is what pips stand for anyways, or profit and points rather. It's all a measure of points, which is the last decimal place. Now there are some brokers that have 4 decimal places instead of 5, so then you start running into a lot of arguments, a lot of complications with the understanding of what a pip is. But anyhow, I'm not here to talk about pips today. I just want to briefly say that. And so we have now 300 pips in total profit, right? And then using a sell limit. So next I want to do a sell stop pin order. So again, limit order, stop order, limit order, stop order, just like that. Okay, limit order stops, limit order, next is stop order, right? So we want to put a stop order where? Just below this line. Okay, we do a sell stop at around 0.71200 and take profit at 0.71. I just do 0.71 because I don't want to put a huge take profit. 200 points is enough. Okay, so again we have a sell stop here with a take profit same level, but that's okay. And the take profit for the second trade is right here. So we're looking at 200 pips here and 300 pips there. Total, possible total of 500 pips. And it looks like the price is going to go back up and at least activate this sell trade and then drop. Okay, we go back to the 4-hour chart or the 1-hour chart, I guess. We're looking for this to hit make a red arrow at some point. Okay, I think it's going to go to that point. I don't know. It's already, you know, it did not form a red arrow here. If it goes at the same point here, let me zoom in a little bit. If it goes up to the same point here and does not, then it'll break and form a red arrow here. Okay, that's about almost 100% guarantee. At least right in here somewhere it's going to form a red arrow, and that's great because we want to activate the sell trade, so when the price drops, it will drop and hit that take profit. And we know long term is going to keep dropping, so that's why we have 2 of these pin orders there to catch the price. Okay, so anyhow, let me know if you have any questions at all about these strategies I showed you, or if you have any questions about any of my other strategies, I'd be more than happy to help you. There are many videos on YouTube I've made showing different strategies. So anyhow, let me know how I can help you. There's a link below in the description of this video for my personal Facebook. Please contact me there first. Also, there is a link for my private Facebook group, and you can request to join my Facebook group and post any questions or comments in my Facebook group. Okay, so with that said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to helping you. Thank you.